Hi everyone, welcome back to Artie's Craft Corner. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Emily and today we're going to be making our very own puppy prints that are inspired by the artist Andy Warhol. He liked to use bright colors and different consecutive patterns of colors with ordinary objects to make them look a little different than you'd see in regular life. So as you can see here, we have 3 different paw prints, each with different colors, and they're all made from construction paper. We're going to be using construction paper, scissors, pencils, tape, and oil pastel. I have 3 that are already created, and we're going to make our last paw print right here so I can show you how you can follow along at home. Now, before we get started, I want to remind everybody that pastels are a little messy, so you want to make sure that maybe you have a smock or a t-shirt that you're okay with getting dirty. Now, for our very first step, we're going to be making all of these shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 parts of the paw print. So to start, we're going to want to make a triangle with rounded edges. So first, let's try to make a triangle. Right, you're going to want to make a triangle. Now you want to round out the edges so that it looks more like a curve at the top. So when you try making it again, it has a bit of a curve. Keep trying until you feel comfortable making your paw print shapes. And then when you're ready, you can cut them out on black construction paper. You're going to want 2 that are a little smaller, 2 bigger, and then 1 large triangle. Once you're happy with your shapes, be sure to cut them out. You want to be extra careful and use safety scissors or make sure that a grown-up is around. For your biggest triangle, you can make a little curve at the bottom, just like that, to show where the foot of your puppy's paw print is. Okay, there. So this is going to be our biggest triangle that we're going to use for the foot of the paw. I'm going to go ahead and take some tape. You can use glue if you'd prefer, but since I have my easel, it'll be a little easier for you to see using tape. You're going to want to put it right in the center of the rectangle. Perfect. Now you're going to want to cut out the 2 smaller triangles and then the larger triangle. One. 2. 3. 4. Okay. Look at your circles, triangles, rounded triangles that you've just cut out and figure out which ones are the bigger ones and the smaller ones. Then you're going to start taping them on to your construction paper. I've been rounding pieces of tape and putting them on the back of my triangles just so that you don't have any interference with the tape and the pastel that we'll be using on top of it. Here maybe? Let's see. Yep. When you only use 1 piece of tape, it makes it easier to move your paw prints just in case you make a mistake or change your mind on where you want something to go. last one. Perfect. So now we have four different paw prints. Now something that's very common in pop art is the use of very bright colors. So for my layout, I chose colors that were opposite, that are diagonal from each other. So here we have a blue piece of paper with yellow highlights, and diagonal from it, we have a yellow piece of paper with blue highlights. So let's take a guess to see what color pastel we're going to be using for this one. We have green paper with pink pastel. Here we have pink paper. What color do you think pastel we're going to be using? Green. So today we're going to take out green, which is, I'm going to bring about this green right in. It's like a Kelly green. And you're also going to be using white. White is the primary pastel color that we'll be using just to make our colors pop, just like the name. So first you're going to want to take your white, which you can see I already have on my hands. But don't worry, it's very washable. And you're going to use the corner of your pastel to create a sharp edge. So for example, to show you the difference, take a piece of paper. Using a corner creates a really bright line. Or if you want, you can shade it just like this. So it depends on how you want to make your paw print look. But I'm going to be using the corner to create these sharp lines first. So we're basically going to want to outline the top of our paw print, starting from right to left. We're going to make white lines. Maybe curving a little at the edges, just like that. See how we have them up here? Make sure they're very, very bright. The white will really pop against our construction paper because it's pastel, which is a little different from crayons or markers. Oops. You're going to want to do this on each of your paw prints. Oops. Make sure your easel is steady if you're using one. And then for the large one, we're going to do the same thing with a little bit of a curve right here on the bottom. You can start with the curve if you want, just so that it will help define where the rest of your paw is going to go. Okay. Once you're sure that you have enough white, then you're going to grab your contrasting color, in our case green, and you're going to color on the insides of the white where you previously put it before. So we're going to start right here. There we go. In some cases where there's a little bit extra pastel, you're going to want to blow on the piece of paper just to get any of the loose coloring that's fallen, just so that it doesn't get anywhere else and spread on your picture. It's going to be a very messy craft. Now, once again, we're going to pick up the white and just get the insides against the green to make the color pop even more. You can put as much or as little as you want on the insides of this with the white. It's just a contrast to your liking. And there you have it, our Andy Warhol inspired puppy paw prints. I hope that you had a lot of fun with this craft. I know I did. Be sure to wash your hands after. I hope you didn't make too much of a mess. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.